So, Tony, tell me a bit about what your journey's been like personally so far over the last 7 years of being in the Broken Colors.
Personally, well, it's been great. It's ups and downs, obviously, as you'd expect in any like original unsigned sort of small band. I started off as a solo artist after many bands broke up, like bands before that, and I decided I better do this under my name, so so no one can leave and it break up again. So we started Tony Goff and done the solo thing, and I wasn't expecting to turn into a band, but yeah, like I said, we won a few competitions, and then there come the band. It's been I've had the founding members with me for 5 years, and now we have a few new members that we've just brought in recently. Ashley, Connor, and Tom, and they're on the new single that comes out tomorrow. I loved every bit of it, to be honest with you. Yeah, but it's not been an easy ride by any means, but I love it and I wouldn't change it for the world.
No, and I don't think any musician would. And it's all part, like I said, that ebb and flow, riding the waves between it. There's always going to be ups, there's always going to be downs, but I think that's what gives character to the entire journey. If everything was good all the time, it would just become ordinary. And sometimes you need to be pushed. You need to have your character tested in order to see where you stand up at the end of it.
Yeah, sometimes people ask me, oh, how do you do it? How do you, how can you cope through all the struggle? Or, there's a lot of work goes into this when you work a day job and stuff. And, I say, well, there's a lot of lows. It's a lot of hard times in it. It goes, but you never forget the highs, and you will strive for those again, it's sort of addictive in that sense.
It really is. And I wish there was a better term for it besides just like feeling addicted to it. But there's a rush when you're connecting with a crowd and when you're riding the very top of that wave and everything, is perfectly lined up. Those wonderful little moments in the universe where happenstance happens and everything is at the right time and the right place. And it's just magic, and there's no true word to describe that, combination of adrenaline. And also, I feel at the same time, it's very self-revealing. You're allowing yourself to, drop your veil, drop your guard, and truly connect with people on an unspoken level. And
you hit it. Yeah.
That's everything.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, that's what I was going to say. It's just, it sort of like reveals your true self, and I feel my best self, and people get to really see the true confidence and honesty and vulnerabilities, everything inside me, all one instant. And it's kind of, that's what I suppose why people gravitate towards you at those specific moments. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, when you step onto that stage, you can be anything you want to be. You can shed all the insecurities and the self-doubt that that bombards you during the 9 to 5 for all of us that have to work a regular job while we're pursuing our dreams. And you can shed that all away. You can forget about the shitty bosses of the world and the awful coworkers, and the or just all the monotony of everyday life, whatever it might be. Not saying that all work is bad, but
no, you're right. Music is a release for me. Like it's always been an escape from it. But I will speak about it to the crowd. I'll sing about it. I'll sing about my hardships in real life, and hopefully they can find some sort of a resolution out of it, or help them in some way.
Well, I think that's important. Because that really, because there's a million songs out there about a million generic subjects, but when you start speaking about your own story and you get really candid with your audience and you get self-revealing, those are the moments that people connect to, because you realize that the experiences that you're going through, you're not the only one. And it's cathartic in those moments to realize that you're not alone, and then it's reassuring of, shit, this is why I do this. I'm finally can fully reveal who I am, put myself out there, take away the stress of the everyday life, whether it be, angry partner or, frustrating job, stress from this, that, other thing, everything that's happening around the world. Music is a release, and it's honestly, it's the most honest, voice there is, when done right, in my opinion.
Oh, completely agree. it's like, it's sort of like it's blood to me. If I didn't have it, I don't think I could live.
Well, absolutely. And it's kind of me personally, I mean, music is mathematics. Mathematics is the voice of the universe. It's a universal language that every person can understand. It doesn't
Yes.
matter if you don't speak English or if you don't speak French or Spanish or Chinese, or it doesn't matter if you don't speak Japanese, because you can, when done right, that, ability to emote those notes, they speak for themselves, even if you don't speak a common language.
You can feel it, man. You can feel it.
That's important to be able to connect that way, and that's what I've been loving about the show is I've um, constantly just it hasn't stopped. I just got contacted from my first Japanese band right before we spoke earlier, and I'm incredibly excited. I don't know how we're going to do it,
Yeah.
but I'm still figuring that out. So that's exciting to me, to be able to
I do.
connect with people on that level.
I do know there's some translating apps you can use on your videos in Zoom. If you look that up.
Oh, that is really good to know.
I've seen people use it a few times. I haven't used it myself.
Thank you. That is unbelievable information.
No worries, mate. I love Japanese bands, so let's get more heard around.
Oh my, I'm a huge fan of Japanese punk. If you I Have you ever heard a band called The Pillows?
No, I was going to say you've ever heard a band called the Radwimps.
No.
Oh,
Ooh. See, this is good. This is good. I like the exchanging, learning about new artists.
of
Now,
course. So, you said the Pillows, right?
yeah, The Pillows. And what did you say?
Radwimps. RAD Wimps.
Radwimps. Got it. Now, I always find it fascinating to find out where a lot of artists find their inspiration. A lot of them, depending on, they look internationally. I'm personally one of them. I love, things that are happening in the States, but it's otherworldly to go and just completely dive in and into another culture's music scene. It's exciting to me. So, Tony, I'm always curious. Where do you find your inspiration from other artists? I mean, I love to look internationally. So we were just saying, I love a lot of Japanese artists, Japanese punk. I mean, punk from all around the world, and I mean, not just punk rock. I listen to obviously pretty much everything here. But where do you find inspiration from different music and artists?
Well, predominantly, I started American music is generally what I love. To be fair, it's always it's what I've started on and always sort of lean towards. And I do love the British scene. Don't get me wrong, but I definitely sway more to the American scene in general. But if we're talking more broad to that, even the more commercial, big music selling countries, like you say, Japan. There's some great, it's phenomenal bands you'll never hear of, and the technicality of these bands is another level to some of these musicians we know. But yeah, you find out through friends and through traveling around, and I always keep an open mind and always give anything a listen. This is a problem with a lot of people nowadays who are not musicians or into the music business. They won't listen, don't give it a chance unless everyone else says it's good. It's a shame, but that's the way it is.
And that's awful, because people, no offense, but the general populace, like they said, they're told what to listen to. A lot of people won't take the time to go into the weeds and find and just pluck out a band that just started, or maybe it's been around for a while and just doesn't have the biggest following. And I love that. And that's what this show is all about. It's hidden underground gems from all around the world that have unbelievable talent, but just maybe haven't gotten the opportunity to get it on a larger platform yet.
Yeah, in some people's defense, though, I would say who has the time nowadays as well. Like everyone's life is so busy nowadays, and it's just no one has the time for freedom and go explore and stuff. And you have to work and got kids. So yeah, I do respect that. I do respect it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely hard. I mean, I'm fortunate where people just email me submissions for all the music on my show, and it makes my life a lot easier. But I spend a good chunk of every morning, a minimum of 3 hours, scouring for new artists every day when I have the time. I've got specific times that I work out where I'm of the week where I'm looking for new artists, I'm contacting artists, I am downloading artists. I've had so many submissions, and I'm incredibly fortunate for it because I'm just being bombarded with all these different genres from all around the world, and I get to share it with everybody, and I get to meet folks like you and share you with everybody all around the world.
Yeah, no, thank you for picking us to do it. Because I know you can't pick everyone, so appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, it's definitely great to have you. Now, I'm always kind of curious when you first started. You mentioned that American music was a big influence for you. What kind of acts were kind of there for the formative years that helped you kind of define yourself as an artist?
It's sort of 90s era. It all kicked off for me when I was listening to America. I suppose, what would I say? I've been all sorts, because when I started out initially, I listened to a lot of the hip-hop and the grime, which obviously a lot of it comes from America. So this is really what got me into music, really. Funny enough, complete genre I don't even explore anymore. So I used to MC back in the day, and obviously a lot of the better talent comes from America. So I got introduced to artists from America there, and we even approached by Def Jam Records at one point in one of my earlier bands, in the Spartans.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I can't say why or who. I can't even say any highlights to be example. I think it's just the type of music they produce. Where it's really difficult to say because British music is it's a bit more unique, I suppose. Where American music's a bit more well-rounded. It's a difficult question there, but yeah, I hope you understand what I mean.
No, absolutely. Is there any bands that truly stand out as some of your favorite that have just tried and true, that have this band just changed my life?
Yeah, for sure. I'm drawing a blank for the moment, for sure. Like, I always do this when people ask me about bands, and then as soon as you leave, I'll be like, oh man, why didn't I say that band? Oh god, help me out here. Tell me some bands that you like, and it starts firing me off.
Oh man, I listen to a little bit of everything. I mean, from the Talking Heads to Radiohead, to very heavy death metal bands like Despised Icon out of Canada, and tons of local music. There's a phenomenal local scene. I love electronic music like Aphex Twin and Square Pusher and Venetian Snares, and I love Bjork.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely love them.
I have a very eclectic taste. I love hip hop, the old school Wu-Tang and like KRS-One, and that's the thing. From being from playing in punk and metal bands to doing electronic music to being a DJ, I have influences from everywhere. And I've always kind of taken it in from every aspect of my life, and family members and friends, and going to shows, and just the willingness to be all ears, and it's trying to hear the honesty in all the music.
That's it, yeah. And you said earlier about Thrice, didn't you? Mention, are they from America? I don't actually know where Thrice are from.
What was that?
Thrice. You mentioned Thrice earlier.
Yes.
They're from America. I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah, they're from the South. Oh, I'm not going to guess the state because I'm probably going to get it wrong. My track record the last few days hasn't been great on guessing the states. But I think, and the internet can correct me, I believe they're from Atlanta. And I'll look it up after the interview. But I believe they're an Atlanta band, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. They could be from Louisiana. But they're from that area of the South, and you can definitely hear that in their evolution as well. They have that kind of Southern rock blues element as they begin to evolve a little bit more.
This is where I thought a bit more about what you asked earlier. So you give me time to think a little bit about your question. And yeah, when it comes to America, it's definitely Southern is a massive thing for me. I've got a real love for country music, and definitely the rock country approach. Is it Mark Cajon or something like that, the blues country singer? I can't remember. I can't remember his name precisely, but yeah. Anyways, and then it goes on to the other side of the heavier side, like the Limp Bizkits and the Corns, and when you were growing up. So I used to love all that when I was growing up, but now I don't tend to go to mainstream anything. So if I told you a band now I'm listening to, it's they might be from America. They're called Ripe, and they're like an indie funk band, and they're my favourite band at the moment.
What are they called?
They're called Ripe. As a fruit, right?
Like ripe, R-I-P-E. Ooh, I'm gonna check that out.
So when people expect me to say big names and stuff like that, I couldn't really. Now
that I'm expecting, I'm just some names. If it's obscure and unheard of, then we'd love to hear about it.
But people, this is one thing people hate about me sometimes, because they say these big artists that I must like, and I'm like, I didn't really feel it. Obviously, I respect what they've done in their fields, but I just sometimes it just doesn't draw me in. Yeah, a bit funny like that. Yeah.
I tend to be the same way, you know. Like I can sit there and like say, as you put it, it's respectable within their fields, and that is a great way. Like I can respect the talent, I can respect what they're doing, but does it resonate with me? No, and not every song is going to, and that's, you know, that happens from time to time, and it's no offense to the artist or anything like that. It's just a matter, can I make a personal connection to what's happening here, you know?
Yeah, no, completely.
And that's, you know, that's super important to me. And I think that's, yeah, you know, and obviously it's important to you.
Yeah, I do definitely want to get over to America though, because we have more listeners, I think, from America, and we have nicer comments from America. It just seems our music suits America better, and I've been told this that I personally suit America better. Like, I think it's just a personality thing.
I think you would do well in the States. I really do.
No, thank you, man.
Now, one thing here that I've been asking all the artists, because it's always something that maybe we talk about it with our bandmates and maybe some close friends, but I'm always curious about if you were given the opportunity to work with another artist that's currently in the game right now, do you have any sort of secret aspirations of a collaboration with any artist that you would just die to have on a Broken Colors record with you?
What do you mean, like any artist? Big one?
Yeah, any artist. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. Who would you just a personal dream to be able to work with, you know?
It would be a toughie. I'm going to have to go with a singer, I suppose, because I don't want to slate my band members. They're good enough. We don't need anyone else. But yeah, I love a female vocal complementing mine, for example. A nice deep vocal line. I love that nice deep female vocal line would be nice. I'm just trying to think of a sort of type of singer right now, because I don't want that clean poppy sort of sound. But yeah, who else right now that he's on the scene right now that I can't really think of too many people. It's definitely not Ed Sheeran, that's for one. There's a lot I wouldn't, that's for sure.
Yep.
I need to think of these. I'm rubbish on the spot questions, so I do apologise to the audience. But yeah, who do I like so much? I'm thinking of a really good voice. If I were to do just a vocal duet, you know, I do like Michael Bublé's voice. I just adore his voice. I would love to sing just doing a cappella with him, you know.
Yeah.
He's a great man. But yeah, I'm drawn to a quality voice at the moment, which is, I suppose, where I'm going with the next music, with the new genre we're going headed towards.
Would you, so basically, and that's okay. So you're looking for someone with some resonance, maybe a little gravas to it, a little bit deeper in tone of a female vocalist. So
yeah, I'm just trying to think of I'm thinking again, American tone.
Well, you know, even if you can't think of someone, it doesn't mean that you're not open to the idea of someone perhaps reaching out to you that kind of hits those notes.
Oh, of course. I'm always up for feet.
That's why I always ask, is because it's a dream to see if, you know, maybe from the mixtape, if a couple of artists could get together, you know, or, you know, make a connection and do something new or add to what they've been doing. And that's the dream, is this connecting artists together. So yeah, if you're watching this, and it's perfectly fine to not have someone in mind, because maybe you haven't met the right person yet. And that's what this show is all about, is about connecting people all around the world.
I do have a male crush on Luke Pritchard from the Kooks. Like, if it was me and him to write a song together, that would just be like my world made. Like, I love that. Awesome. You know, and Kelly from the Block Party, and these type of guys I would love to just be in the same room with, let alone not be involved with. But yeah, but anyone listening to this that ever wants to collab or a feature, you have to ask, you know, just no harm in asking. We're always up for listening and trying out new things.
That's fantastic, and I think that's that willingness to take a risk is one of my favorite aspects of any band, hands down.
Yes, I love meeting new people, and it's just exploring everything you can explore. It's never ending.
So Tony, before we part ways this evening, what's coming up next for the Broken Colors and yourself?
Well, we've got a new single out, and it's called Rearrange, and it's just come out It cuts like last week. Yes, you can catch it on all platforms worldwide. It's all digitally at the moment, and we're working towards the EP towards the end of the year or the start of next year. That will be a digital and physical copy. We're working with Bentley Records to bring this to you at the moment as well. It's super exciting, and we've even had the likes to talk to you about it as well. So very thank you for that, and just check out our pages and our social medias and keep up to it because it's madness at the moment. I hope it continues.
Oh, absolutely. And I would love to see, what comes next for you and the Broken Colors. So we're actually going to check out that brand new single, Rearrange, that just came out a week or perhaps a couple of weeks ago, depending on where in the universe this video drops. Phenomenal stuff. Very excited. We're going to check out some music videos from you tonight as well. Before we part ways, any final thoughts or messages out to the world?
Well, basically, this lockdown, for example, this pandemic, just it's showing that we, bring everyone. It's crazy. Everything going on at the moment is a bit crazy. So I just want everyone to just remember, I think it's tough. Just take a bit of time, be kind, and make this world a slightly better place. It's enough to stress about as it is. Just be kind to each other.
Absolutely. I think it's something that we all need to remember when we get up out of bed and before we leave the house every day. It's just remember to treat everybody with equal kindness and remember that we're all in this together.
Yes, we can only do so much, but the little bit we can do will help.
Thank you so much for joining me. My guest tonight has been Tony Goff and the Broken Colors. We can find him on Spotify, on Bandcamp, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Am I missing anything, Tony?
That's the main ones. The main ones we use, yeah. Obviously, there are other ones you can search us, but they're the main ones we use.
Perfect. Well, we're going to drop all those links in the chat here for everybody able to check that out. Do us a favor. Go over to Tony Goff and the Broken Colors pages. Give them a follow. Check them out on Spotify. Give them a follow there. Spread the word. Phenomenal band. Doing great, positive stuff. Tony, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been phenomenal.
Thank you, mate. It's been great having you, and enjoy the new track, and hope to speak to you very soon.
Absolutely. And stay well, my friend.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.